Cain, you've been here at Trent Bridge as a senior regional talent manager for the Blaze for the last 5 or 6 weeks now. How's it all been?
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable. The transition from Loughborough has been a nice, and it's been really pleasant to kind of enter the ground. And I think there's a lot of values that are held within the ground in terms of like being welcoming and friendly, and you definitely feel it as you walk through the gate. The girls coming in week one and standing in the press box, kind of taking pictures and stuff, was definitely a shock and a reality check for them that this is where they're at the moment. So this role's a pretty large gig, and it kind of traverses, I suppose, across 4 counties in the region. So it's really important that we keep that regional feel. But the move to Trent Bridge, I think, has been incredibly positive from my end.
Yeah, it is a bit of an all-encompassing role. Can you sort of touch on what it is that you do, how sort of you spend your time?
Yes, I spend a lot of time doing a lot of things. So obviously the primary role is looking after the academy and making sure that the 13 girls that are on the academy are well looked after, and we're giving them enough contact time and quality support. So a big push for us has been getting a quality staff group in place. So we've now got Scott Boswell's our fast bowling lead, Lucy Hyam, who's one of the pros, is going to be doing the spin bowling stuff with the girls, and then Jack Mousley's our batting coach. So in terms of encompassing skills, we've got those guys, and then obviously Anne Sharp has been running the strength and conditioning and putting the girls through their paces there. And then Phil Tranter, who's obviously covering us at the moment whilst we're on the search for a physio. So he's been brilliant, and I think that ties into the stuff that Notts have given us in terms of facilitating roles and giving us support there. So that's kind of the main part, and then we move on to kind of like the talent ID space, where I think we got close to 300 scouting reports on 45 to 50 players last year, which was an incredible feat, and something that we wanted to make sure we were selecting the right players to programmes. And with the inception of the EPP coming in this year, it's definitely been a big drive for us and a big push to make sure that we have a lot of information, and good quality information. So I think that was kind of the main part of the role, to get right, I guess, moving into this space.
And for those academy girls now who are looking to play senior cricket potentially over the next couple of years, can you touch on what their journey might have been, I suppose, over the last 5-6 years from playing county cricket to being where they are now? What does that take for them?
Yeah, so I guess there was a pretty big knee-jerk about 3 years ago when the regional structure came in, and I don't think anybody really knew what it was when it was first brought in. And I guess that education piece around the fact that there is now a journey for these girls to become professional cricketers is, again, incredibly positive, and we're seeing it go from strength to strength with the number of professional cricketers increasing year on year. And it looks like the direction that the ECB are moving in with the women's game is in a really positive and it's moving forward. So for these girls, I guess it's we've got to be mindful of where they are. We've got to be mindful that there's going to be a lot of hard work that's going to go in. There's going to be some setbacks. There's going to be some things that they're going to have to work through. But I think the group have finally come into grips with what it is going to take to become a professional cricketer, and the buy-in's been incredible from the 13 girls that are on the academy at the moment. So yeah, as I say, incredibly positive.
And let's hone in a little bit on what actually happens during this winter phase. How does training look for you in this stage before Christmas and beyond that as well?
Yeah, so we've broken it down into a couple of blocks. Pre-Christmas and I guess first couple of weeks post-Christmas, we're really focusing on skill, enabling the girls to make some technical tweaks and changes and put them in a place where they can kind of sculpt their game and find how they want to play, which I think is really important to actually have that time. We know cricket's a real long game, and we spend a lot of hours indoors in the winter, and I guess there needs to be an energy and a purpose in there. So for us, it's just finding out what game we want to play out there. We've gone through a lot of stuff around values and how we want to play as a squad. But equally then as individuals, how do they want to be perceived? What skills do they want to take into the season? So that would be kind of block one for us. With obviously a pretty high emphasis on strength and conditioning as well. And then we'll move into the second block of the winter, which I guess will be a little bit more variable stuff. So we'll be moving into slightly higher challenge and seeing if the skills that the girls have put in stand up under a little bit of pressure. And then we'll obviously move into kind of the pre-season block, which will, I guess, encompass April, which we've got a pre-season festival at Millfield to attend to, which is our first formal match play. So for us, it'll probably happen quite quickly in terms of the transition from winter to the season. But I think the point we're at the moment is a really pleasing one, and we're seeing a lot of progression from the players.